Hello, community. So today I want to talk about the Ouya and the Shield. Now, the Ouya has been obviously the one that has gotten the most publicity out there. I mean, it's kind of like Wasteland 2 was with Kickstarter, that it was the first kickstarted Android gaming system, and so everybody backed the Ouya. They got $8 million, from Kickstarter, and they were loved by basically all the press, and everybody loved, all the tech heads loved it, and so here we are. It gets delayed, and then finally the Ouya comes out, and a lot of people still don't have it yet. At least who backed it. But it's been to retail, and retail's already sold out. They're making a big deal because it's sold out. Now, the truth about retail is you really don't know what the true numbers released it. It could be a real low number, so it could have sold out real easy. The truth of the matter is. But the problem is that they haven't actually, given their system to the backers. And the person in charge of Ouya, that runs the company, their basic response was, they were pissed because they promised Ouya to everybody, not just the backers. And that seems to be kind of a stupid way to run your company because, listen, the backers are the people who are going to show that thing to everybody. They're going to say, look at it, especially the tech heads, right? Tech heads, when I'm out and about doing things, the tech heads who buy the first newest cell phone or whatever it is, they're the ones who are going to show it to everybody. They're the ones who are going to talk about it. They're the ones that are going to give you word of mouth. That's very important for your product. And to not give them the product, let alone not give them everything you're promised, let alone not giving them an alpha build of a system, is just not a way to run your company. The other problem I have with this is that not only did they get the $8 million from Kickstarter, but they got $15 million private funding for the Ouya system. And they still haven't delivered their product to their customers yet. The first thing you should have done is ship them out to the backers. You should have had them all shipped out and said, hey, guess what? Our backers are all shipped out. At least ship them out at the same time you went to retail, so everybody gets it availability at the same time, even though the whole point of a Kickstarter is that you get the product before everybody else. That's the point of it. Again, Kickstarter is eventually, like other things, going to have to be some kind of legal, either changes of the way Kickstarter runs its Kickstarter or legal presence for this, because this is kind of a dirty move by a company that, hey, we're making a product, hey, we're releasing it, fund us. Oh, by the way, you're going to get it after everybody else gets a chance to order it. Just doesn't seem fair. Now, the Shield is another gaming system, again, that was announced to be delayed today by a month. In their case, it's smart to delay. Now, the Shield to me has already got problems anyway, because they've already lowered the price recently, and they're delaying it. Do I think any of these systems got a chance? Quite honestly, I do not think either one of them do, because they have this one problem that nobody's talking about. One, they're now a dime a dozen. There are several Kickstarters that have gotten plenty of money to do the same type of systems. Number two, there are no exclusive games for these consoles or systems. Let's take the Ouya's problem. It's not just the fact that you started off bad with your people who backed you. Let's talk about the fact that, well, instead of going with the Google Play Store, since it's an Android device, which would have given you access to some great games in the beginning on your console until you built up your games, you're going with your games that the early results of the games that they've gotten to play aren't very good. I don't care that they blow the number out that we have 8,000 developers. Well, those are all 8,000 possible developers that possibly might make games for your console that possibly might be good. Doesn't mean anything. Again, a lot of things don't mean anything. I think the problem you have is the tech heads buy it early because they love tech. I mean, let's be honest. I love tech. Every person, tech heads love tech. Remember 3D? Remember how they all thought it was the future and they all went out to buy the 3D stuff at home? Well, people don't care about 3D at home. I don't care about 3D at home. Gaming 3D-wise is too early. Until you can give me a full-fledged, I feel like I'm in a real world where I can look around and see everything, I don't even think I need 3D for that. Games are getting to the point now where you can look around and do all that stuff. Is 3D necessary? They back something early, and then the problem with your thing after that is you gotta have people want to play the games on it. On live, same situation, right? Everybody talked about this is the future of gaming. Streaming games was the future. Well, first of all, streaming games was way too early because not many people have enough internet to stream games constantly. Secondly, it didn't do very well. The console did. It got sold off, and why people may say it seemed like promising future. Promising only means if you actually make that happen. The same thing with the Ouya and the Shield also. Now let's talk about the $15 million private backing that Ouya got, because ironically enough, NVIDIA, who made the Shield, is one of the people who backed the Ouya. And when people say, well, why did they do that? Well, it's common for companies to go out and invest in other companies because, one, they do it for money. Like if that company gets big, then they get obviously they get a big payday. Other is to possibly have a stake in that company to possibly buy it down the road. And the third one is that companies sometimes buy a stake in another company to have dialogue, so that maybe in the future that pays off in another way, maybe a project or something. There's a lot of reasons why they invest in other companies. And sometimes they just have too much money and they got to put it somewhere. So, again, now people may like these systems, and I do think these systems will sell to certain people. I don't know if they have mass market appeal, and in order for these systems to do well, the first thing you have to do is actually release your product on time. Do what says it's supposed to do. I thought the Ouya's biggest failure was the fact that they announced this, when they announced this thing and everybody got on board, that thing better have been out 6 months after you announced it and the Kickstarter ended, because that's when you had all the buzz. Now the buzz has ended, and once the buzz ends, that's when everybody starts looking closely at your product, and that's when the scrutiny comes in, and now that's what Ouya is going through. So, that's just my opinion on that, guys. I'd love to hear your opinion about the Ouya or the Shield. Do you even care? Are you going to buy one? Love to hear your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys for another video soon. Thanks for watching.